Okay. Thank God my back is better. I think I pulled it out in the airport somehow. Fat guys shouldn't sit on tiny planes, right? No, I actually pulled my back. Anyway, getting on to the subject. I have the image below. You can click on the link, and I translated from the Japanese. I downloaded the 15-page, no, it was 22-page. I didn't translate all of it. Document on the Nikon patent. This is Nikon's own patent, by the way. Whether they use this or not, I can't speculate. However, one would be about, I don't know, about 95 or 98% certain that this is the adapter for allowing f-mount lenses. Not only do you need the flange distance to compensate for use of current f-mount lenses on the new Nikon mirrorless, which, and by the way, I don't know which videos, but I mentioned it in at least 2 or 3 videos like a half a year ago, that Nikon must announce, even though they won't bring it out, their mirrorless cameras before the start of their 101st birthday. It's this Japanese ethos thing, and that birthday is a week from today. So within the next 7 days, we'll get the specs and the info. How much details they give, I don't know. Surely they'll announce it 100% certainty at Photokina. Same thing as Fujifilm and other people announce their new cameras, showcase them at Photokina. But we'll have an announcement on Nikon's mirrorless camera. The scuttlebutt is that there'll be a between 45 to 50 megapixel full frame camera, and then a 24 megapixel version. But only one camera this year, supposedly for release later this year. If it is the case that the one camera, and it would make sense that it would be the 47 to 50 megapixel camera, is the same sensor in the Nikon D850, then that would logically be an accounting for the shortage of Nikon D850 cameras that Nikon has been squirreling away X number of thousands of sensors to put in. And really, there's not a better sensor for them to throw into their mirrorless camera, so it should be, I'm only speculating on this, the same sensor in the Nikon D850, but that makes all the sense in the world, and that would also be the perfect explanation for the lack of Nikon D850s and the shortage thereof. But interestingly enough, if you take a look at this image, this is the adapter, and it is obviously a very smart adapter, and I went through the document, and since I don't read Japanese, I had to translate all this crap. The adapter, the smart adapter that sits between the lens and the Nikon mirrorless camera, and this is Nikon's own patent and drawing and information. The amazing thing that really sucks, and if this turns out to be true, and this should be about this should be it, is that it actually has a pellicle mirror in there, and this is not semi-translucent, because translucent is a very specific word. What it is you can say is a mostly transparent mirror. It's the same sort of garbage that's found in the Sony A-series cameras. We not only need the flange distance to compensate for the mirrorless mount, whether it's going to be the Z mount or not, I have no idea what they're going to call it, but it is a completely larger mount. Actually, people have been bitching at Nikon for for over 20 years now to make a much larger mount to accommodate some really fast glass. Canon did that many, many years ago. So Nikon's taking advantage of this opportunity. They're going to have, and I've said this like 100 times, they're going to announce 6 lenses, they're going to drop 3. I know one of them's a 24 to 70 millimeter f4. And so they'll have 3 lenses drop, and then 3 lenses later that have been announced for release sometime next year or something like that. So these native lenses. You know, you cannot use any current damn Nikon lens without an adapter, and the problem with this stupid adapter is that it gives you phase detect autofocus, since it is a mostly transparent mirror or a pellicle mirror. And it's non-moving mirror, by the way, and very funny, since this is Nikon's mirrorless camera and you need this adapter, and this is Nikon's own patent, and this means that to use an f-mount lens on Nikon's new mirrorless camera, you will have to have a non-moving pellicle mirror adapter in there. So if you're using Nikon f-mount lenses on the new mirrorless Nikon, the new mirrorless Nikon will be a camera with a mirror in it. Not only that, that really sucks. The problem with these pellicle mirrors, the same thing as Sony and everybody else, is they get dusty easy. They are insanely fragile. There are replacements that Sony sells, and you're actually able to somewhat easily replace those with special tweezers to yank the mirror out and replace it if they get scratched. But this not only cuts down on light, which everybody knows, but the serious issue, and that's why all the images from those damn Sony A-series with the pellicle mirror in it have issues with low gain intertonal detail. In other words, the micro contrast is blown to piss and back. So you could have the best Nikkor lens, F-mount lens in the world, with just amazing black and white rendition or just amazing color fidelity, and this is lens fidelity. And anybody argues with me about lens fidelity, I'll tap dance on your head, not literally, because you don't know what you're talking about. Lens fidelity is real. So this is a serious problem, and this is Nikon's own patent. So if this is required for F-mount lenses, what it's doing is it's taking some of the light and bouncing it up here to numbers 30, 32, and 31, which it actually lists as the focus detection unit and the micro lens array for phase detect autofocus, which feeds information back for allowing fast autofocus acquisition of F-mount lenses. Now, I don't know if this will be G-series lenses only or whether it will accommodate screw drive lenses or not. Probably not. Probably G-series lenses only. And also the new AFP lenses, which is even newer than the G-series. That would suck alone, but the fact that this is Nikon's patent for the smart adapter, and it is really smart, the problem is that non-moving pellicle mirror is, I would rather sandpaper my crotch than buy an expensive Nikon mirrorless camera, and then to use all those freaking F-mount lenses that I have, which is a crap load. I stick a adapter in with a non-moving pellicle mirror, which is a mostly transparent, which really cuts down on the low-gain intertonal detail, and it also ruins a really awesome lens fidelity of some of my best Nikkor lenses or other third-party lenses like Zeiss and Voigtlander. That sucks. That really sucks. That's not my speculation, that's a fact. Whether Nikon uses this smart adapter, well, I mean, this is a copy of Nikon's own patent of the smart adapter for their mirrorless camera. Just no ifs, ands, or buts. It is. It is. Are they going to use this? Well, yeah, apparently so. A pellicle mirror is crapola. Right now I'm actually having an internal mental road rage if this is the case. It is the case that this is not speculation, okay? It is the case that the new mirrorless Nikon camera will have its own new wider mount for much faster, and this is also why Nikon actually trademarked the name Noct, which is means nocturnal, meaning big, being like a large animal marsupial. The same thing like Noctilux and Noctune, like Voigtlander Noctune, but it turns out Nikon found out that Noct was not trademarked. So Nikon trademarked the word Noct, and they're going to apply that to their new lenses, and they've already announced it. Several lenses that are f/0.95. In other words, they're really damn fast. So it will be the case, ignoring adaptation and ignoring F-mount lenses, when Nikon, this is not my opinion, this is a fact, when Nikon drops these two new mirrorless cameras, they're going to have a few lenses with a few more to, so if we just ignore everything, like if you never bought a Nikon before, never owned a Nikon, like I'm waiting for a Nikon mirrorless, yeah, and I'm going to make the switch, and you don't have any F-mount lenses, and you don't want this stupid adapter for the damn reasons that I told you. Okay, the new Nikon mirrorless is out, whatever the hell it's going to cost. You're going to have a selection of 1, 2, 3 lenses. Well, isn't that special? No native F-mount lens, not my opinion, fact, is going to mount on the new Nikon mirrorless camera. It's a completely new mount. It's bigger, it's wider. People have been bitching at Nikon to make a bigger ass mount for super fast glass and other reasons for decades now, literally decades. They wanted that on DSLR cameras and film cameras. Nikon, you need a bigger mount. The F-mount's not big enough. Here's an F-mount lens. Not big enough, Nikon. It's big enough for most things. But if someone is going to be buying into Nikon's mirrorless system, they don't own a Nikon, say the camera is just the cat's ass. And I don't think that it will be, but that's pure speculation on my part. But let's just say that the Nikon mirrorless camera is the epic cat's ass. It is just silk, sex, and sugar. It's like, great, you got the camera, and now you got like 6 lenses to choose from, 3 of which are not for sale yet. Those are in the distant future. And 3 lenses available: the 24-70 f4, a 35mm, and a 50. Wow, isn't that great? And I have this super advanced mirrorless camera with no adapter. Well, I mean, this adapter, yes, but if I just wanted native lenses, you know, I just want to slap some Nikon mirrorless new Z mount. I don't know what mount they're going to call it. Everyone's saying Z mount. Doesn't make any difference. It's a bigger mount and it's a different mount. It's not F mount. You're going to have basically nothing to pick from. That's even worse than when Sony rolled their stuff out. Like when the A7 hit, it's like people were bitching about Sony not having any lenses. It's gonna be Nikon. It's like, hey, just put this Nikon mirrorless camera. There's no lenses for it. Yeah, unless I buy this adapter with a non-moving pellicle mirror, which is right there, part number 21 in Nikon's own patent. Okay, no speculation, fact. If that's the case, I'm going to call it a Fujifilm. I want to buy some stock in Fujifilm. Why do I want to buy stock in Fujifilm? Oh, Nikon just dropped their mirrorless camera. It's a completely new mount, which I knew, but yeah, I can't use any of my old F-mount lenses on it without using this shitty adapter with a non-moving mirror in it. So in other words, all the light of every image that I shoot has to pass through this crappy mirror, which is A, really fragile, and B, is famous for collecting dust. Canon had one, Sony has one, famous. They're very fragile, they collect dust. Can I buy some stock in Fujifilm? Nikon is about to screw the pooch. People are gonna, that's if. I'm saying if. The camera is just like the best mirrorless camera ever made. Nikon nailed it! Let's assume that, which I'm pretty sure that won't be the case. But if it is, you're going to have like the best mirrorless camera in the world with no lenses for it! Not native lenses. Whoa, wait a minute, you got 3 to choose from. Wow, a fantastic new mirrorless camera from Nikon with 3 lenses available. Let me repeat that. 3 lenses. Whoa, there's 3 more coming next year. Nikon! Screwed the pooch. Realistically, though, people saw this coming for nearly 20 years now. They're like, sometime in the future, Nikon is going to have a larger lens mount. Canon did the switch years and years ago. But for consistency's sake, that's why everybody loved Nikon. It's like, no matter what sort of freaking ass Nikon camera you got, you can slap an F-mount lens on there. Like a modern Nikon DSLR, this is an old ass lens. It's not that old, but it's an old 50mm pancake. Any modern Nikon lens, camera, DSLR, D850, D500, whack, just slap it on there. Works fine. Even this old lens, which is as old as I am, or even older. No more, baby. New mirrorless camera. Great. No lenses, no native lenses. Let me use the word native. No native lenses are going to fit on there, except for 3 lenses. A 50mm, a 35, and a 24-70. Yeah. Great, I got this great camera with no native lenses to stick on it. Nikon! I would rather sandpaper my crotch than use an adapter with a pellicle mirror in it. Many of you, I'm going to assume correctly, have no idea how horrible a mostly transparent, non-moving pellicle mirror is. You talk about cutting down on lens fidelity, image projection fidelity. Doesn't matter what you look at it, lens fidelity, image projection fidelity. No. 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 Let me see. Let me stick between the sensor and the lens, the rear element of the lens. You know, this is a great idea for lens design. Yeah, between the rear element of the lens and the sensor, I want to stick this non-moving mirror. Isn't the objective of photography to have the best image fidelity pass from the ass end of the lens to the sensor? Yeah. But no, we're going to stick a mirror there. Yeah. So I can reflect a little bit of light up here to the phase detect sensor and the go through the micro lens array, you know, for phase detect autofocus. That means the autofocus will be really accurate, but you're taking a crap on the image fidelity passing between the lens and the sensor. And that, if you know anything about image quality and stuff you stick in between there, it's kind of like, that's even worse. People talk about sticking like a really, really expensive lens and sticking a crappy like $9 Walmart filter on there. You'll say, oh my God! And you see image examples people doing. They'll stick like a really crap filter on an awesome lens, and this is not an example. Like, look how much the image suffers. It's even way worse than that. Yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, you can disagree with me, but you would be wrong. Thanks so much for watching. Nikon, idiots.